Thank you, Dr. Paul. Good morning, everybody. As you can see, once again, I'm not Reverend Kate. I am Robert Brown, practitioner, and I will be the presider today. So I invite you all to close your eyes and relax for an opening statement. Know with me that there is only one presence, only one power, only one spirit in this universe and in our lives. I am one with it each and every moment. We are all one with this universal consciousness. I give great thanks for this oneness. I give great thanks for the spiritual community of the Carlsbad Center for Spiritual Living. I give great thanks for each and every person who comes to Sunday services and each and every person who is not able to show up on Sunday. I give great thanks for the love that exists among all of us. I release my words into the air, knowing that they are done and spoken, and with great gratitude we say together, and so it is.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I didn't have a program, so I didn't know where we were, but we're right here, right now. So what a blessing it is to be here and to see everyone and to be here with you. Unspoken joy, in the silence there's release from a world of chaos and noise. I awake to this precious moment when I hear all that could never be said and right here in this precious silence I find God. I find myself. world full of chaos and noise, I awake to this precious moment when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this precious silence I find God. I find myself. I find God. I find myself. Yes, I find God. I find myself.
Thank you, Michael Paul. It's good to have you back with us again. He pointed out to me before that the last time he was here, I didn't have a mustache, so that's how long it's been. It's my pleasure to welcome you this morning to Carlsbad Center for Spiritual Living, where we believe that there is a power in the universe for good, and we can use it. And where we come together to teach, demonstrate, and inspire a positive approach to living through the use of spiritual principles. As we begin, I'd like to invite Nancy up to light our candles this morning. We use the candles to symbolize and remind ourselves of the underlying spirit of life and the unity of all things. So first we light a candle for life. Life is everywhere present, flowing through each and every one of us. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life now. So say with me, I am life. Next, we light a candle for love. The birth of love happens within each one of us every time we make room for the Christ consciousness in our hearts and in our lives. We are transformed. I am a point of love within the heart of God. Please say with me, I am love. Next, we light a candle for light. The light of God is the presence and the power. We are always walking in the light. I radiate the light of God wherever I am. Please say with me, I am light. Next, we light a candle for beauty. We are made in the likeness and image of God. We are each whole, complete, and beautiful just as we are. I accept the beauty of God's perfection as my perfection now. Please say with me, I am beauty. We light the candle for joy. Joy is the very nature of spirit and the true essence of each of us. We celebrate the joy of our own rebirth in the God consciousness. I bring joy to the world. Please say with me, I am joy. Now we light the candle for peace. Today and every day we open our hearts to peace. I am a center of peace in our world. Please say with me, I am peace. And finally, I invite you to take a moment to recognize your own inner light that is always shining within as we honor our own metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Thank you, Nancy, and everyone for participating in our candle lighting. Give Nancy a hand.
All right.
So, announcements. If this is your first time in our center, welcome. I don't see any first-timers, but I'll just skip over the rest of it. As it is each and every Sunday and each and every day of the week and of the year, spiritual mind treatment, sometimes known as affirmative prayer, is our gift to you. It's our gift to you on Sundays, particularly. So if you have a prayer request today and you want to have a short session with a practitioner or a minister, ministers are also practitioners, speak to us after the service, and those of us who are available to provide spiritual mind treatment, raise your hands, please. Thank you, Elaine. You can also fill out a written prayer request and put it in the box out on the table to the right of the door as you're exiting. And then our prayer team will pray for you throughout the week. The announcements are printed inside the program, but I just want to remind you of a couple of things. One is, make sure your phones are turned to mute or stun or silent mode or vibrate only or whatever you want to call it. Our class on spiritual principles is going to begin on April 23rd, which is next Sunday, after the service, and it will continue for 5 alternate weeks. This can be taken for credit through CSL. Talk to Reverend Kate or when she's back, or Reverend Maurene about how to do that. The book for the class, and the class is called Spiritual Principles. The book for the class is This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes. In the paperback version, it looks like this. And Kate has advised us that she has ordered some new and used copies of it. I don't think we have them yet. So hopefully they'll be on the table ready for purchase next week. If not, you'll just have to wait if you don't have the book yourself. And you can attend the class whether you've read the book or not. I was also asked to remind you that Reverend Maureen has put some spiritual bookmarkers out on the front table to the left of the door as you exit. So take one, or you can go through them and find the spiritual principle that you like best and take that, or you can take more than one. And now it's time to say thank you for today's volunteers, for this beautiful floral arrangement, which she arranged herself, because I watched her. Reverend Maureen is the guilty party. Thank you, Martha, for being our greeter today. And thank everybody who brought food for our potluck Sunday today. So give all of yourselves a round of applause. As usual, our videographer is practitioner Larry, who always does an excellent job. And thanks to Jan and Angel, or Angel as I know him, for all that they do to get us set up and prepared and organized, and for the bookstore and everything else that they do. So, and we're always looking for volunteers. So if any of you are feel the urge to volunteer and to serve your spiritual center that feeds you spiritually, the sign-up sheet is on the table outside. So please sign up. And now we're going to do the group reading, which is in your program. So let's read together. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect abundance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. Now it's time to stand up for the group song.
No, it isn't.
Is it the inspirational reading or?
Oh, it's the inspirational reading.
Oh,
we
that
can do
comes
the
after
song.
the group song.
Okay,
According to my
We
schedule.
want to do a song now?
after a good song.
You want to do the song now?
Group song now, yeah.
Oh, okay. Absolutely, yeah, of course.
Versatile.
We're flexible.
We're flowing.
God is my source. Did you have the words were handed out on a little slip here? God is my source, God. God is my source. You guys are familiar with that, so we're going to start off. Ready? We're going to sing. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. One more time, God gives me everything I need. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Michael Paul, and thank you all of you wonderful singers out there in the audience. So next is the inspirational reading, and I'd like to invite Morgan up to do that. And I'll lower the microphone.
The quote today is by Nick. I'm going to get it right. Thich Nhat Hanh. It's spelled very oddly, and Robert reminded me of the pronunciation today, just in case I've never looked it up. And I have had occasion to look it up because I thought, are people pronouncing that right? That's just spelled so oddly. But yes, it's Thich Nhat Hanh. He was a Vietnamese Buddhist monk born in Hue in 1926 and died at age 95 in January 2022 in his root temple near Hue in Vietnam. Nhat Hanh was a prolific author, poet, and teacher, and he believed in what he called engaged Buddhism. That is, applying Buddhist principles to social issues as well as to daily life. He's known as father of mindfulness, as well as being a major influence on Western practices of Buddhism. And now for the quote. Real love means loving kindness and compassion, the kind of love that does not have any conditions. If you are motivated by loving kindness and compassion, there are many ways to bring happiness to others right now, starting with kind speech. It is possible that the next Buddha will not take the form of an individual. The next Buddha may take the form of a community practicing understanding and loving kindness, a community practicing mindful living. This may be the most important thing we can do for the survival of the earth. End quote. And perhaps we can be that community Buddha. So it is.
Okay, take it away, Michael.
Thank you. Everything has its season, everything has its time. Show me a reason and I'll show you a rhyme. Cats sit on the windowsill, children fit in the snow. Why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? They can ramble, and eagles belong, but they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner under God's sky. Everyone has a daydream, everyone has a goal. People like the way dreams have of sticking to the soul. The rain comes after thunder, the winter after fall. Sometimes I think I'm not after anything at all. Where they can ramble, and eagles belong, where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my wonder of God's sky. misty day, you wake up and find me gone. And far away you hear me singing to the dawn. If you wonder if I'm happy there, only to more than I've been. And the answer will come back to you like laughter in the wind. If they can ramble and eagles belong, if they can fly, I've got to be where my spirit can run free. I've got to find my wonder. Oh, God's sky. For river along they can ramble, and eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my wonder. Yes, that's my wonder. I'm gonna find my wonder in God's sky. I've got to find my corner. I'm gonna find my corner in God's sky. I've got to find my corner. I'm gonna find my corner in God's sky. In God's sky. In God's sky.
Let's give Michael Paul one more round of applause. Make it a vigorous one. Now it's that time of the service where it is my honor to present our speaker today, the Reverend Maurene Bishop.
Thank you, Robert. Hopefully you can all hear. And I just wanted to start off with, I just want you to smile. Just smile. Show me a smile. Smile. Today I'm going to be talking about kindness. And one of the kindest things we can do is smile. So it's been a year since we started meeting in person. And I'm so happy that we can do that we're beyond the staying at home routine. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, just a year ago, I was almost done watching all the movies on Netflix. But, I'm happy. We celebrate our unity. And today, I'm going to talk to you about kindness, and which is often thought of as wishing good for other people and acting on it, not expecting anything in return. And it's more than that. So last month I talked about very small things, quantum physics, waves and particles, and I talked about very large things, the huge Big Bang and the creation of the universe. And it's kind of like, now it's like, well, where do we fit in with the big and the small? Well, we're one with the universe. We're one with the multiverses. And we can use the mind of God to create. We know that. And kindness, it allows us to understand how we fit in. Because kindness is many things, and it's a power that we can use. And when we do what we do in kindness, changes people's lives. So the root of our fear is separateness. We think we're separate. We're separate from the universe, or we're separate from quantum particles. We're not. You know, we want to be free, like Paul was saying, free. We need to overcome our separateness. So we can do that by acting with kindness. So first, once upon a time, a daughter says to mom, she says, "Mom, what kind of mouse can walk on 2 legs?" And mom says, "I don't know. What kind of mouse can walk on 2 legs?" "Well, Mickey Mouse, of course." Okay. Okay. What kind of duck can walk on 2 legs? And mom thinks, "Oh, I got you here. Donald Duck." And her daughter says, "No, Mom, all ducks." All ducks. Now, when we use humor, it brings us to the moment. It brings us right now. We don't worry about what we're going to eat at the potluck a half an hour from now. We don't worry about what we did yesterday. We're right here. We're present. And so humor is a wonderful tool for bringing us. You know, a lot of people use the term that past is history, the future is a mystery, the present is the gift. So today, I was trying to be mindful and present, just coming here to church, and the hills were covered with flowers. I mean, pink and purple and yellow and orange and red bougainvilleas, and just amazing. And I just think everywhere there is beauty, I see the kindness of God, the kindness of the universe. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said, "I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all." So metaphysically, you know, Aristotle defined kindness as helpfulness towards someone in need, not in return for anything, not for the advantage of the helper himself, but for the person helped. But metaphysically, kindness is power. Kindness is divine grace. It can be fun. And it heals wounds. So most people think of kindness, they think of Buddhism, and they think about Thich Nhat Hanh, you know, who penned today's reading. Thich Nhat Hanh, I'm saying that right, more than that, I think. He said, "You can be the sunshine for another person, but you can't offer it until you have it for yourself." So you yourself, you have to start with kindness for yourself. So have you been shown a kindness that you remember all of your life? A kindness from your mom or your dad, your brothers, your sisters, grandparents, a total stranger? Well, about 10 years ago, my mother died, and I was in Mesa, Arizona, and I had to go back to the airport and come back here because I was working, and my daughter, you know, was still in high school, and I was in the airport. And if you've ever been to that airport in Phoenix, it's huge. Well, there was a line at TSA that just went forever. You know, and I started thinking, I'm going to miss my flight. You know, how the mind does this. But I started just to become so overwrought. I started crying. And I stood in line and just couldn't move. And a TSA agent came over to me, and she said, she was so kind, she was so sweet, and she just said, "What's going on?" And I said, "Well, my mom just died." And she said her mother had died too. And I don't remember everything she said. I remember her face, and I remember the love. She was so kind. And I thought, TSA. Yes, TSA. So she was my angel. She started to heal a wound that was so deep. So Abraham Lincoln said, "Kindness is the only service that will stand the storm of life and not wash out. It will wear well." and will be remembered long after the politeness or the courtesy has faded away. So kindness means different things to different people. Sometimes it's just a kind gesture. Other times it's being a good listener. Like this woman was a good listener. She listened to me and she was empathetic. Kindness also follows the law of circulation. When you give a kind act, it comes back to you tenfold. You may not know it that day, it may not come back to you that same day, but it will return to you. And kindness blesses the one who receives it and blesses the one giving it. A New Thought minister that I often read his emails, he says, remember, there's no such thing as a small act of kindness. Every act creates a ripple with no logical end. Just the ripple that just goes out from you covers the planet. It can be fun though. I may have mentioned this before. Last Christmas, I decided, okay, I'm going to go around and I'm going to do some random acts of kindness. And so I was in the drive-thru at Taco Bell, one of my favorite restaurants, and I drove up to the window and I paid the lady and I said, oh, the people behind me, do you know what their bill is? And she said, yes. And she told me. I gave her the money, I gave her a tip, and I drove off quickly so they wouldn't see me. And I was like, oh, wasn't that fun? And I did that at Starbucks too. Sometimes you just drive up and you go, okay, what's the person behind me? What's their bill? And just pay it. And it's just like, I know this will come around. Kindness is a gift. It's a gift from the divine, and it is for us to give it. Because for me, I know nothing greater than giving and blessing someone else by my action. So I just also wanted to mention, a couple days ago, a woman was coming out of the store and I was going in and she held the door for me. She was younger and she just smiled. It's like she was just so happy. And I said, oh, thank you. And we had a moment and she's going, oh, no problem. It's like, yes. We were just understanding kindness. And Sophocles, who was a Greek philosopher, he said, kindness gives birth to kindness. So kindness is also a movement. It can be a movement. It can be a movement across the world. I don't know if any of you saw the movie Pay It Forward. That was a movie that came out some time ago, and it is that same concept, is that you give, you make an impact, and you create a chain reaction. It keeps rolling, and it can cause a ripple effect that affects an entire community. Look at Reverend Lori Mack and the wells that are being built in India that are helping whole communities. Really assisting the whole earth. Kindness is the greatest power on the planet. I think it is. Because it's the power of touch, it's the power of smile, it's a kind word, it's a compliment, it's the smallest act, or a surprise. And when we offer these acts to other people, we are offering hope, we are promoting peace, and we are showing the power of the mind, the goodness, the love. So it's been over 20 years ago, I flew to Kolkata, India. And I went there because I wanted to work with the Sisters of Charity and Mother Teresa. And, it's the Kalighat is the house of dying. So I went to work there. It's Hindu hospice is what it is. And Mother T, as we affectionately call her, believed that no one should die alone. Even the untouchables. Now, for Westerners, we don't have a judgment about an untouchable in the caste system in India. So most of the volunteers or from Europe or the US. And there were people that could no longer eat. So we just gave them water. You know, and I don't speak Hindi. All I could do was be there, be present. And try to keep the person alive, but if they chose to pass, we were there for them. Mark Twain said, "Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see." So I didn't need to know Hindi. Mother Teresa also said to us, she said, "Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier." And she also said, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love, like holding the door, like paying for someone who can't afford something at the grocery store." So I discovered the three most important things in life: be kind, and be kind.
I won't forget that.
Okay, be kind. Kindness is grace, and grace is divine. Grace is a divine gift. So, you know, we all make mistakes. We all do not so smart things. I don't want to say stupid, but sometimes, you know, we have the best intentions, but we have to not judge. We have to think before we speak. And just as the Westerners that have no problem extending love to the untouchables, we have to do this to everyone here. We have to stop with the judgment. And we have to forgive. Forgive yourself. Forgive everyone else. 7 times 70. Be kind to yourself. You know, we're really great at beating up on ourselves. We create some difficult times for ourselves. But let go of that. You know, I hear it all the time. Oh, I should have done this. Oh, if only I could have done that. Oh, if I would have. You know, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, just let go. Just release those. You're doing your best. You are a gift to the world. So, do a little bit of good wherever you are. Do the good. Just something small. I mean, all these little pieces add up, and they change life. Excuse me. The best portion of a good man's life is his little, nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and of love. That was William Wordsworth. You may have heard of him. He was an English poet of the Romantic era. Again, he said just the best portion of a good man's life is his little, nameless, unremembered acts of kindness. Well, I was thinking about that. One of my favorite writers, Oscar Wilde. He was an Irish playwright. He wrote Dorian Gray, and he wrote the comedy, The Importance of Being Earnest. It was made into a movie. It was kind of fun. But he was imprisoned for 2 years, and he said, "When I was brought down from my prison to the court of bankruptcy between 2 policemen, my friend waited in a long, dreary corridor, that before the whole crowd, whom an action so sweet and simple hushed into silence, he might gravely raise his hat to me. As handcuffed and with bowed head, I passed by. Men have gone to heaven for smaller things than that. I have never said a single word to him about what he did. I store it in the treasure house of my heart. That memory of a little lovely silent act of love has unsealed for me all the wells of pity and brought me out of the bitterness of lonely exile into harmony with the great heart of the world. So just a gesture, a man tipping his hat, acknowledging the life of someone else, opening a door, smiling, kind words. So remember to speak kindly. Conspire to do acts of kindness, randomly or planned. Say good morning to everybody. Give gratitude to yourself as well as others. So I want to tell you a story of a couple of teenagers that I read about, Jim and Kyle. Kyle was the new kid on the block. And Kyle had been going to private school, but started going to the local high school. And they had not met. And it was after only like the second week of school that Jim saw Kyle leave the school, and he had all of his books and all of his stuff with him. And he thought, boy, that kid is a nerd. What's he doing? Why is he taking all the books home for the weekend? And Jim thought, well, I got a great weekend planned. I've got a football game to go to. I got lots of friends. I'm going to have a great weekend. And as Jim was walking home, he saw a bunch of kids run up and push over Kyle. And Kyle spilled his books on the ground and his glasses went flying. And Jim saw him look up with a very sad look, and he ran over to him and he said, oh, those kids, they need to get a life. Sorry that happened to you. And can I help you? And Kyle said, well, yeah. And so Kyle and Jim started talking. And Jim invited Kyle. He found out he lived pretty close to him. They started doing things. They went out to this football game together that weekend, and they started to become fast friends. Now, Kyle was kind of small then, but he grew into his body as high school went on, and so did Jim. And toward their senior year, Kyle did very well in school, and he became the valedictorian. Now, the valedictorian is the person who gives the speech for the class at the end of the year. And Jim said that he seemed a little nervous, so he went up to him and kind of patted him on the back, teenagers. And he said, it's okay, Kyle, you'll do great on your speech, your valedictorian speech. So Kyle went up to the podium, and as he started, he said, graduation is a time to thank those who helped you make it through those tough years. Your parents, your teachers, your siblings, maybe a coach, but mostly your friends. He said, I am here to tell all of you that being a friend to someone is the best gift you can give them. Kyle talked about the first day that he met Jim. He had planned to kill himself over the weekend. He talked of how he had cleaned out his locker so his mom wouldn't have to do it later. And he was carrying all his stuff home. He turned and looked at Jim and gave a smile. He said, thankfully, I was saved. My friend saved me. So never underestimate the power of kind action. One small gesture can change a life. Again, kindness can become a movement. It can be fun. It can heal wounds. It can change a life. Kindness is a grace, a divine favor, which you can pass along. You are the beloved of the universe. You can change the world one little act at a time. And so it is.
So it is.
And so it is.
So we have Michael. Thank you.
you, Maurene. There we are. Thank you. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me. Open my eyes and I can see. There is only love. There is only love. It's a love that you know that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel that I've lost my way, oh no, when I go inside and I cry my and I hear spirit, sweet spirit, gently say, there is only love. There is only your love. It's a love that you that sets me free. There is only your love. There is only love. There is only your love. It's a love that you love that sets me free. There is only your love. There is only your love, only your love. There is only your love. Thank you, Lord. It's a love that you love that sets me free. There is only your love. Just open up your heart. See, there's only love. There's only love. There's only love. There's only love. There's love and your kindness.
Thanks. Well, this is our time for conscious giving. And In your bulletin, it does say that you can give by check or cash, or Venmo, credit card. There's several ways to give. So I would just like you, if you have a gift, or just take your hands and put it on your heart, and just know with me, there's only one love, and that love is right here, circulating in our hearts. There's only one love. There's one life, one light. But that love flows through us and multiplies everything that we give and everything that we receive. For this, I give great gratitude for all the gifts to Carlsbad Center for Spiritual Living to assist us in all the volunteers and all the wonderful spiritual community that we've created, continue to create. I'm just grateful for all of your gifts. Thank you. So we'll sing together, I'm so blessed.
I'm so grateful for all that I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so
treatment before we stand and do our final song and go have our potluck. So unless you would like to do one?
Yes.
So, as we prepare to leave today, we leave knowing that there is one, only one mind, one creative intelligence, one loving divine energy that I call spirit. That spirit is in me, through me, and all around me, and living its life through me, as me. I am one with it, and for that I give thanks. Thanks to this divine spirit that gives to me as I give to it. We live in a spiritual universe. Spirit is love, divine love that blesses and heals. And I know for myself, as I know for each one in here, that love is loving and healing, and that we heal ourselves and others as we show loving kindness. It is the divine gift, a gift to receive and a gift to give. And so, with deep gratitude, I release these words to the universe, knowing that this is going to be a great week for each of us as we share the kindness as it flows from breast to breast and heart to heart. I give great thanks. And I release these words knowing that it is already done with great love and gratitude Please say with me, and so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Beth. Okay, let's stand.